Hey, what's going on, everyone? So, I watched this video here by a YouTuber named Philion, which is titled "Milf Manor is Insane." I was so shocked by how wild this show is that I had to just watch it for myself. So far, there's only like 4 episodes, but I'm gonna just go over basically what this show is about right quick. Basically, it's like one of those like reality dating shows, except this time it's with like older women, like maybe like milfs. Like, come on, like they're like about 50, 60s in that age range, but the guys that they're trying to attract are around like my age, so like 20, 21, 24, 26, around that age range. And it's really strange. It's To me personally, it kind of makes me uncomfortable a little bit because I really don't like age gaps. I have like a lot of weird experiences with like age gaps and things, and I just don't. It makes me feel weird, and I start remembering things that I kind of low key forgot about. So in a way, I guess for me personally, it's like exposure therapy, but I'm over exaggerating this a bit. But basically, yeah, all these like moms are trying to get with these like 20-something-year-old guys, and it reminds me of that YouTube reality show that Adam 22 did to try to like get some guy like where the winner of this show gets to have like a three-way with him and Lena the Plug, and they get to record it and stuff. So it's literally the same thing, except this time it's like a more professional set, since it's funded by like TLC or whatever. When you're watching the show, you can kind of make some like observations, I guess. So something I've noticed, all the milfs in question are basically like divorced moms, so that's like a no-brainer, right? But then when they introduce all the guys are like stereotypical typical frat boys. Like, I'm pretty sure some of them even mention the frats that they're in. In the first episode, it's your typical like reality show like house thing where they do like a little challenge, and then whoever wins this challenge gets to go on a date or chooses who they go on a date with, and then that causes all this drama, and oh my god, you're dating that guy, I like this person, oh no, I want this person instead, and blah blah, that type of thing. And like that stuff's boring, obvious to me. But when it's like this uncomfortable age gap of like milfs and like frat boys like this, it's just weird. And not only that, but okay, spoiler alert for episodes 2 and on, they bring the boys' dads into the show, so the dads start competing with the boys, like their sons, to get dates with the milfs. And this is where the show gets completely bonkers to me, where it's like, I could not imagine having to do this. Like, let's say I'm into like some girl or whatever. If I had to compete with my dad to get with this girl who is also like more than twice my age, that would be like traumatic as hell, like crazy. All right, so a lot of the boys in this show actually do have a really good relationship with their dad, and it's kind of nice to see, where it's like the boys and their dads are like best friends, and then they're trying to like attract this girl or whatever. Some of these people, it's like kind of fun to see them like in this situation. But there's this one person that they brought onto the show who hasn't spoken to his dad in 3 years because they have a legit toxic relationship, and now they brought him onto this show to compete with his son to try to get a date with one of these like milfs. Like, that is why would they, it's obviously the show's probably fake, but this type of storyline is just traumatic as hell to me. Like, I don't know what to say anymore. I'm like speechless with this. Like, now let's get back to talking about the milfs here. So the milfs, most of them, they're like stereotypical like divorced moms trying to get young guys type of thing. But then there was this one milf they brought in the show who is like basically like a former stripper, and she has to like mention it all the time, and you could tell she is kind of self-conscious about it, or at least that's what the storyline tells her to act like. But something that's kind of interesting is, okay, so another MILF they brought on the show is like this hood black woman type of person, you know, like one of those type of stereotypical characters. And she's like beefing with the woman that talks about how she's like a stripper or whatever all the time. And something that I think is kind of an interesting thing to notice is that really turns off the dads to see these like fully grown women acting like bratty teenagers towards each other. And it's just something that I've noticed like in the show that's kind of interesting, because pretty sure in this show those dads signed up to get with more mature women, so to see these women acting like bratty teenagers is probably a huge turnoff, especially since most of these dads are divorced too. They don't want a repeat of what happened to them before. Kind of funny to see how the younger boys who are trying to get the MILFs were all intimidated by their dads showing up, because it's like, with our dads, they got their careers in order and stuff, man. They got more experience than us. And then, like, to see the dads be turned off by the MILFs arguing and being catty and stuff, like, it's just kind of funny. Example, there's this one, like, MILF who is a Vietnamese lady, and she kind of has a sad backstory where she said she fled the Viet Cong with nothing but the clothes on her back. So she was brought up kind of poor, and now here she is on this show, and she's like swooning over the one dad that sells private jets. So yeah, there's no way those kids are going to be able to compete with something like that. Anyway, guys, this show is basically like watching a car crash in slow motion. It's so weird and strange, you can't look away. But for real, thanks for listening to me yap about this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye-bye!
I got you, thin golf boy.
I wanna hear about your trip across the galaxy, as long as you can summon